I know today's being the water ceremony is sort of special to me because I've also been involved in trying to keep awareness of water issues important in time in life, and knowing that Flint's undergone a water crisis, Detroit's undergoing one now with schools, and Ann Arbor's got water issues in its rivers. So I just explored some of the coincidences that occur between the two. So I wrote a little reading today. So, is a person the color of pipestone, or is pipestone the color of a person? It doesn't matter. I learned from one of the Earth's people that water is life. Coursing through our veins, life flows to its next destiny. As a naturalist, I had taught that survival has to it an understanding, a policy called the rules of four that I flaunted with. In its pragmatic moments, water communicates with us in its own ways. Water is sacred. Water is life. 4 minutes without air. I laid on the beach, pulled from the waiting surf of the Pacific, separated from a partner lost by the tide. I was rolling in, nursed by a regulator to maintain my health. To the shore where wallowed legs tried for turgidity but failed to support me. The heat in me strived to drive away the water on my skin. Water caught in its chemical temporary phase of transevaporation, which is critical to life. Water is life. Taking 8 times the energy towards its gaseous state per degree Fahrenheit, when it evaporates, it consumes more energy than my body had never used in its liquid state, so that energy was being consumed. My muscles had turned a wetsuit into a sweatsuit. Without the ability to regulate the chemical reactions with more water in my body, I was a chemical soup. Oh, my eyes running. I was a chemical soup bouncing in the surf after being exposed to heat quenching. I had cramped and laid helplessly until pulled ashore with my life in tow. Mini Wakani, which means water is life. 4 hours without shelter. Oh, my eyes are running. I found it again, standing in my tent. Condensed on the wall of my tent, lost into the air, it now stood on the wall of my tent. At negative 40 degrees Fahrenheit, it looked at the impression I had tried to melt in the ground and felt the thirst driving it from my body. Water is sacred. Water is life. Mini Wakani. Hemingway's commitment to literature, offering a thesis to a scholar. His treatment of water's images and states transformed in Farewell to Arms, where water is death and snow is rebirthing. Rachel Carson also had spoken about water and its essential role in her book, Silent Spring, where water and pesticides don't mix. 4 days without water. I was perched, lips cracking the first time I had seen a kangaroo mouse. It consumes the water in its food. Recent discoveries talk about methane melting out of the polar caps of ice on Earth. Frozen oceans of it on Mars, consumed in speculations of life's origins and destiny. In its solid state, the movie The Martian, showing an aerobic digester, notably a person or an animal that consumes food, life like the cow emitting its gas, and the digester, which can be made to consume plant material, along with the digesters remaining fecal matter as a biomass to make methane. So it's a cycle of life, water cycling with methane, dancing together. Oxygen atoms dancing with two hydrogen atoms. Stable is the molecule which holds water in its potential state of life. Unshifted by fugacities, heat, and pressure, a solid formed under the lack of oxygen, where methane holds a clue, and as a carbon which holds 4 atoms of potential in its hydrogen. The dung beetle teaches me that some things roll downhill with water. Venice has its watering holes capped by Napoleon to separate water from our fecal waste. Wells capped. In the 20s, in this country, we lost cisterns for water from our yards to the pipes that deliver and recover it from our house. Along with that came the gas, found in gas light districts, and the sewage lines to recycle life's potential in methane. Today, our landfills flare off the gas they don't sell us. The wells drilled in the earth are more for gas than other things. The city uses our sewage to break down the landfill into some of the gas we buy back, and fracking makes methane we find in tap water, flashing off to burn at times of high enough concentration. Industry places the power plant above the fracked mines, leaking gas beyond measure, a gas that transforms our Earth's atmosphere in alarming rates, consuming our oxygen. Water is life. Water is sacred, Miniwakani. I've never seen 4 weeks without food. As we transform soil to consumable energy, food scraps can be methane, and sewage treatment plants make methane for us, the consumer. Managing our methane as we can, cycle it above ground, manages its leaks better, and protects the water. Energy, water, and life. So wound in a web, we don't even see it.